Good morning. It is Friday, August 15th. I'm Whitney Turner. Thanks for joining us for Catch Up Quick, WVLT's daily fastcast airing at 10:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday. We want to kick things off with a check of your first alert forecast with meteorologist Kyle Granger. A foggy start driving into work this morning.
Yeah, definitely something that slowed some of us down as we got started for the day today. Here's Gatlinburg. I was just looking at this, talking to my friends on TikTok, and look at this. We've got almost a heart-shaped cloud right over the mountains here. And of course, looking over the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, where many of you will want to see the hikes and everything going on today, maybe finding an escape to get cool. We're making improvements with this fog. Now, downtown right now, we're still at 3 miles range, but we've got about another 30 minutes or so. All is going to be clear, especially over in the western North Carolina as well. Look at the heat, already up to 71 right now in Knoxville. How about 81 Sevierville, 80 for Newport, 75 Townsend, 77 Kingston. Good morning, Crossville up to Jamestown. Love that trek. 79 is where we are for the current temperature. We got a few clouds that'll move in over to our west. A mix of sun and clouds today makes for a beautiful sky to take some of those pictures that we all enjoy. Now we're up into the 90s by the time we get into that 4 o'clock hour. How about 91, 92, feeling more like 95 at times. Yes, a hot, humid day is with us right on through 4, 5, 6 o'clock. By the time 7 o'clock rolls around, Jamboree kickoff time across East Tennessee. We're going to be sitting into the 80s. We'll have a few clouds that rumble through overnight tonight. For the rest of the day, just isolated rain chances. Hopefully it doesn't rain over your football game, but maybe over your garden you're still nursing at your house. We'll take a look at the rest of the week and into the weekend, plus the tropics coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much. 2 arrests have been made in connection with the death of Aurora Grace Hurst, a 5-year-old from White Pine in Jefferson County. Last night, White Pine police arrested Aurora's parents, William Sipple and Shirley Ann Hurst. Both are now facing charges of aggravated child abuse in connection with Aurora's death. White Pine's police chief says the dedication and persistence of investigators was instrumental in bringing charges against those responsible. The case is under the district attorney's jurisdiction now as the case against Sipple and Hurst moves forward. Our team is working to get more information for you about this case. And another arrest to tell you about out of White Pine, nearly happening a year after a deadly road rage shooting. The White Pine Police Department says in September of last year, they responded to a shooting incident on Roy Messer Highway that left 20-year-old Jordan Price dead. They say the alleged shooter was Derwin Wilds of Newport. Late last night, police say they arrested Wilds after a comprehensive investigation. He is now facing 4 charges, including voluntary manslaughter. And 5 high-ranking cartel members are being charged. It all started with a car crash outside of Knoxville 6 years ago. 2 accused drug dealers' car crashed right outside of the city back in 2019. Police recovered a case full of meth after the chase. Investigators used wiretaps, surveillance, and search warrants to trace it all back to a drug operation in Atlanta. Then they traced it to a drug trafficking and criminal organization known as the United Cartels, a designated terrorist organization by the Department of Justice. 5 high-ranking members are now charged after that crash and investigation. The exact location of the crash is actually evidence, so we don't know it. Both suspects in a deadly drag racing crash 2 years ago are now convicted. Trinity Clark and Trishawn Glass were drag racing on Magnolia Avenue when they hit another car. An 11-year-old boy and 6-year-old girl were seriously hurt, and tragically their grandfather, Michael Williams, died. A man who helped the family when this crash happened says he's so happy they've gotten some closure.
I'm more happy for the family because I know they've just been waiting for this day, and there's a relief off of their shoulders now, and now they can kind of go on with their life.
Clark will be sentenced next month. Glass already pleaded guilty. He's going to serve 12 years in prison. And Southwest Airlines will soon be coming to McGee-Tyson Airport. Starting in March, you're going to have 4 new locations you can fly to, including Nashville, Dallas, Orlando, and Baltimore. The airport says they saw a record number of flyers last year, so this move will help them keep up with the growth of our area. Officials also hope to bring more visitors to East Tennessee.
And we're going to let those people know about coming to visit the Smokies and all the great things that are in this region.
Nashville will have 2 daily round-trip flights. Baltimore, Dallas, and Orlando will have 1 round trip each day. Well, yesterday we told you about the letter from Sevier County leaders to Senator Marsha Blackburn about Newfound Gap. They're asking for help to repair the road through the Smokies to get it back open sooner than expected. Well, now we're hearing from the senator. Her office says the rock slide on Newfound Gap Road has created serious challenges for Sevier County families, small businesses, and visitors. The senator is working with the Interior Secretary to speed up the reopening of the road. Her office said, quote, she is committed to ensuring Sevier County has the federal support it needs to get it back open. But for now, Newfound Gap Road is still expected to open back up in October. It's a plan to give your kids a place to play after school. Emerald Youth Foundation hoping to bring a new youth sports complex to East Knoxville. It involves land in Chilhowie Park, part of a revitalization plan in the area. It's the lot right across the street from where the Tennessee Valley Fair is held. Now the city of Knoxville is thinking about selling the land to the Emerald Youth Foundation to build a new youth sports complex.
Looked at the Emerald Project out in Lonsdale, and we said we need something like that in East Knoxville.
It's really about transforming a blank piece of property to a piece of property that is a daily activity space for neighbors and families and kids. And that's really what that's about, is this investment with Emerald.
The city of Knoxville confirmed a vote on the deal will happen in next week's city council meeting. Trust us to bring you the new details on this as we learn more.
Your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Kyle Granger.
10:36 on a Friday morning. Yes, gloomy skies over downtown Knoxville thanks to some of that fog that has been with us for the start of the day today. We'll move forward getting that sunshine, heat, and humidity, and you'll see some of that haze off in the distance when you're in some of the mountain peaks in Knoxville looking towards the Smokies. You'll just see how hazy it is and some of that air that you can wear this afternoon. 79 in Knoxville right now. Meanwhile, back in Pigeon Forge, it's 80. How about Washburn at 80? 77 Kingston, Lenore City, 79 Crossville up to Jamestown, 73 Williamsburg. Radar and cloud track shows a few passing clouds for the start of the day today. Crossville up to Jamestown, looking with a few of those clouds, trying to ring out a stray sprinkle or two. But your First Alert forecast for the rest of this Friday shows that sunshine beaming down for a very high UV index. Air quality and allergies are looking pretty good, but check this out. Feeling like 95 for much of the afternoon. In fact, here's the way the day planner shapes out for us the rest of the day. Low 90s, feeling like that 95. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we've got 20% coverage for you right on through 5, and that 20% means that most of us stay dry. Watch what happens. Now, over Cumberland County, we've got a 20% coverage for you, but it all bubbles up right over you at 2:30 in the afternoon. Knox County of sprinkle out west. Then we move into 4:30. Nice, quiet, clear, and calm. Maybe you're tailgating at Sevier County for the Jamboree tonight. And then look what happens. We bubble up a storm over West Knox County. So places like Farragut, Fulton, you might run into some of those areas that see the downpours this evening. Clouds moving through as well at 9:30. Speaking of varsity all access, the Jamborees tonight. South Doyle takes on Carnes, and Farragut and Fulton, speaking of, are going to be taking on each other in the Jamboree tonight. 7 o'clock, 86 degrees, partly cloudy skies, 20% coverage. 71, partly cloudy tonight, nice and calm. Sunrise tomorrow very close to 7. On your Saturday, maybe you head out to Dollywood, but check this out. It feels like 94 with that sunshine beaming down, just an isolated stray storm. So as you're walking around Craftsman's Valley, checking out things there, get under the shade and protect yourself as much as you can. Apply a layer of sunscreen as you get out and about over at Splash Country. And what we're tracking in the tropics, 2 areas right now we're watching. This is Tropical Storm Emily, expected to become a major hurricane as it marches towards Puerto Rico, the island of Hispaniola, and then starts to make its turn off the coast. Once it's off the coast of the Carolinas, we could have some huge swells here thanks to this major storm. So if you have any travel plans, North Carolina, South Carolina, even up into New England, down to Miami, could have some rough seas there. Even if this does not come on shore, looking at some rough seas, even a few sling out storms that get from there. And we've got this just off the coast of Texas, which is an area to watch, which will sling some tropical moisture into South Texas. Something to watch there. May not be a big storm for Texas, but it could impact your travel plans for those of you who maybe have a vacation plan. That's all we're watching in the tropics. Back here to home, you don't have to travel to get that heat and sunshine if that's what you're looking for. You can have it right here out your backyard. 90 93 through Monday, feeling like 95 to 97. Isolated the spotty storms Wednesday and the Thursday at 20% coverage.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much. Well, do you have any extra stuffed animals? Right now, Knox County's juvenile court judge is asking for help with an important mission. For years, juvenile court has helped comfort kids in the system by giving them a stuffed animal. Judge Tim Irwin says more than 30,000 have been given out over those years. But what once was a strong supply has dwindled down to maybe enough for the rest of this month. And now he's asking for help from you.
Started giving them out to the kids. And what a hit. All of a sudden, I become the good guy instead of the bad guy. Well, the reason you're here is we're running out of stuffed animals. So we want the public to know there's a need for stuffed animals out there.
Irwin is asking for new, not used stuffed animal donations, saying all you got to do is bring them by the juvenile court, leave them with an officer, or donate money, saying this project really makes a difference to the kids who get them. And new data shows that Tennessee public schools could be losing money to school vouchers. That data will be presented before the Tennessee Board of Education this morning. The data shows students enrolled in public school will get $272 less than the students enrolled in the governor's school voucher program. According to the National Education Association, Tennessee ranks 47th in the nation for total per pupil funding. The next lowest state is Mississippi, which spends almost $1,000 per student than Tennessee. House Speaker Cameron Sexton addressed concerns about how vouchers could impact school budgets if schools start losing students to private school.
Can you assure them they're not going to lose money year to year if this bill does pass?
They're not losing any money. Look, at the end of the day, the school systems do not want competition. It doesn't matter what they are. But the bill design with the floor and the hold harmless, once again, when the amendment comes on in committee, there's going to be a little tweaking of it. Those schools will not lose money if they have disenrollment. That's just not what's going to happen.
Anybody that thinks that this isn't going to decrease the amount of money that local school systems get either can't do math or isn't being honest.
The State Board of Education is scheduled to meet today. We're going to be watching. We'll let you know what happens. Zoo Knoxville is offering a special deal for families coming up this weekend. Sunday only. Tickets will be $10 each. That's more than 60% off regular price. Once again, it's only happening this Sunday. The zoo says it's their way of showing appreciation for the continuous support they've gotten from East Tennessee. You can take advantage of the deal, but you do have to buy your tickets online. We've got the link to get them now inside your As Seen On section of your WVLT News app. And the Great Smoky Mountains Hot Air Balloon Festival is back, lighting up the sky in Townsend. It's happening tomorrow from 3 to 9. There's going to be tethered hot air balloon rides, live music, food trucks, a kids' play area with a bounce house and face paintings. It's $10 to get in. Kids 10 and under get in free. It's also a fundraiser. The proceeds benefit the Townsend Volunteer Fire Department and Townsend Elementary School.
We the People, celebrating 250 years of America. Sponsored by Garza Law Firm.
Our year-long celebration of America's 250th anniversary includes interesting facts about Tennessee and the country. Today, we're talking about a historic move by an automotive giant. On this date in 1899, Henry Ford, who you might know as the creator of the Ford Company, left the Edison Illuminating Company. He was the chief engineer there. He worked with them for 8 years, but he had created a patent for his third car earlier that year, which led him to getting investors to establish the Detroit Automobile Company. 10 days later, he left Edison's company, turning down a promotion and a pay raise. He would go on to create the Ford Motor Company in 1903, but not after 2 failed business attempts. Ford is now the second largest American automaker in the country. Thank you so much for joining us on this Friday. Remember, you can stay up to date on WVLT.com.